Yo, Philly 254 living life. Back at it. So I'm gonna keep it real. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. So first of all, I'm a Steam Deck fan. Look at the channel. I'm a Steam Deck fan. You know that. So let's not get it twisted or confused. I'm all about that Steam Deck, but we gotta keep it real. You gotta keep it realistic on certain situations. And what I'm talking about is that, like I said before, the elephant in the room. There is one glaring weakness with the Steam Deck, and I don't think it's entirely Valve's fault or anything like that. I'm just gonna keep it real. It's the very fact that Steam Deck has a lot of issues with online games that implement anti-cheat methods, battle eye, and whatnot. And by that I mean, we'll just throw some examples up there. Dead by Daylight, Destiny. I actually did a couple of videos of both Dead by Daylight and Destiny on how to some of the ways you can kind of get it to work on Steam Deck. Rust. When it was out here at one point, Rumbleverse, RIP, it's gone. I think it's still here as of right now, but it's on its way out. But any other, certain games that have some type of anti-cheat method, a lot of times they don't play very well with Steam Deck. Now, the reason I say this is not technically 100% Valve's fault or anything like that is because they're working with these other gaming companies to try to get over that hump. There are ways there, because keep in mind, and let's back up a little bit and talk about why the anti-cheat doesn't play so nice with Steam Deck. And it's because the Steam OS is based on Linux, and a lot of these gaming companies, of course, game via Windows OS or whatnot. And in order for those games to work on, because a lot of these games are not made specifically for Linux, of course. But the way Steam has kind of gotten over that is the Proton layer, which kind of just translates it and makes it easier and lets these games work. A lot of these games work because of Proton. Different versions of Proton give access and abilities and makes smoother gaming with different games, right? And the issue is that these anti-cheats don't play well with Linux and Proton at all. But that's only half the story, because the situation is very simple. Like I said, Valve is working with a lot of these different gaming companies that had these kind of issues, and some of them have come around because there are fixes. There are ways to get around it and work with Proton and not I guess threaten the gamers of that particular game. There's won't be any vulnerabilities in that case. Rust is an example where Rust should theoretically work, but it's on, I can't remember the publisher of Rust or whatever, but it's on the developer side or whatever to make it work. They got to flip the switch on their side. Dead by Daylight is one of the biggest examples I can run with. And the reason I say Dead by Daylight is because at one point there was, and I can't remember which update it was. I know they had an update with the night, like when he first came out on Dead by Daylight, and there was a moment where when they finally did that final update to introduce him and did all the various changes and patches and fixes for the game. I don't know who was in charge of it, but somehow, some way, they messed around and flipped the switch to allow Steam Deck or Linux-based software to play Dead by Daylight. No issues. And it worked for like a solid week, maybe. I don't know if it was a week. Might have been like a couple days. And it worked like a champion. Like, you didn't have to choose a specific Proton. You could just boot the game up and go, and it ran. Just like that. Easy peasy. But again, I guess someone had realized, oh crap, we messed up. And they flipped that switch right back. And now Dead by Daylight doesn't work. Now, there are a number of ways you can get around it. There are alternate launchers that will allow certain games, like Heroic Launcher will actually work with Dead by Daylight. I believe Dead by Daylight. I know it did with Rumble. Well, no, Rumbleverse was an issue too. It worked with Rumbleverse for a little bit, and then they patched up Rumbleverse and then stopped working. But I want to say it works with Dead by Daylight. I could be wrong about that. But if you get Dead by Daylight via Epic Games, you can use Heroic Launcher. But alternate launchers is one way. You could install Windows or dual boot Windows on your Steam Deck. That's another method. because now you got a Windows version or a Windows version of your Steam Deck basically that can play these games. And another method, the one I personally use, is cloud gaming, because at this point, cloud gaming is kind of being that buffer. It's not, yeah, it's playing on your Steam Deck, but everything's been done via the cloud. So in those cloud, those the rigs that the cloud gaming uses are Windows based, so it's all good. And GeForce Now is my big thing on cloud gaming, by the way. But you could use Xbox Game Pass, and at one point when it was here, you could use Stadia. Rip. I don't know about not Linux. I don't know about Luna. I haven't never really tried Luna. I'm pretty sure you can, but I just haven't personally tried it. But I'm pretty sure you can. I'm like 98% sure you can. But yeah, cloud gaming is an option too. But we shouldn't have to go to jumping through all these hurdles and hoops and everything to play the games we want to play. These multiplayer games we want to play, when we know there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than having a game that is not compatible with Steam Deck. But not because the Steam Deck just can't handle the game. If that was that'd be one thing. But I feel like most people could accept that. Okay, it's just beyond the Steam Deck's limits. But it's when the Steam Deck can clearly handle the game, and it just flat out just does not run because it's anti-cheat, does not play nice, and that just hurts. That hurts your soul when it's a game that should theoretically run on the Steam Deck, but just flat out won't because anti-cheat just says nope. And it's a game that it really just feels like it's on the publisher, developer, whatever. It's on their side that just flip the switch. I feel like. And I'm not over there with Valve, so I don't know. I feel like on both ends, some collaboration can come to work from it. I feel like publishers or developers or whatever on their end, they're feeling like it's not worth it. It's a small percentage of their gaming base. But the thing is, more and more people are purchasing the Steam Deck, and it's just a pain to have to go do these other methods and jump through all these other hoops. Now, when Steam Deck 2 comes out, or even later on when the current version of Steam Deck, and FYI, I don't know. I don't have any information on Steam Deck 2. I'm just throwing some hypothetical out there. Who's to know if there will be a Steam Deck 2? But the current version of Steam Deck, as it stands right now, who's to know, a few months from now, a year from now, hell, 2 weeks from now, I don't know, they could, developers could, certain developers could be like, you know what, I think I want this to work. And that could be definitely a thing. And that's me clapping, by the way. I'd give an applause for that. But as it stands right now, that's the one big hurt. I feel like both sides, Valve and whatever different developers and publishers or whatever, could probably come together and kind of have a discussion on this is lucrative. It's not that much work. It's just look it up, Google it, whatever. It's not a huge amount of work. Now I'm pretty sure that different games have different infrastructures and of course different anti-cheats. So the amount of work would differ between, depending on the game and whatnot. But behavior with Dead by Daylight is one of my biggest examples. They just did an update and accidentally activated and allowed Steam and Linux players, aka Steam Deck users, to just jump on there and play. It won't hurt anything. Matter of fact, it actually adds. It can only add, because now you're getting players who will now play your game on the go. Why not? I know Rust, we'll just throw it out there. I know Rust has some unofficial servers out there that has no type of anti-cheat enabled, basically player-made servers that have no anti-cheat whatsoever. But at that point, now you're in the Wild Wild West. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you out there. Now we're on an honor system at that point, and that can get a little scary. But there are a lot of games, multiplayer games, that definitely work with Steam Deck. Street Fighter 5, Blaze, I guess Blaze Blue, whatever. But there are a lot of different multiplayer games out there that definitely work with Steam Deck natively with no issues. We just gotta get on board with this anti-cheat. I get it, anti-cheat. I get why it's here. I'm not saying you do away with anti-cheat. I get why it's here. I understand why it's here. I understand its purpose. It's for the greater good. But let's come together. I'm pretty sure we can kind of understand that Steam Deck is not a hacker's dream to destroy your gaming infrastructure. Was it Bungie who does Destiny 2? They flat out said we ain't doing nothing with Steam Deck. And if you see someone trying to bypass the Steam Deck, your whole account's gone. No more for you. And I'm like, it's not that serious, man. We just want to play your game. If you allow other Steam Deck users, in your game, we'll buy your DLCs. We'll buy your season passes or whatnot. I mean, you're only helping your game in the end game, in the end run. So, I don't know. That's a little rant. Throwing it out there. That's the elephant in the room. That is the one glaring issue I feel like that the Steam Deck has. And again, I say, and I'm going to repeat myself, I'm a big Steam Deck fan. It's not me hating on the Steam Deck, just being real. And I feel like both sides can kind of probably work a little harder on fixing that and making it work for everybody. Gamers are happy, you know. It took forever for crossplay. Crossplay is now becoming, when a game comes out and when you find out it has multiplayer, it doesn't have crossplay. Because it's starting to become a standard. It's starting to become something that's, a rare unicorn to we're expecting it. Why not kind of situation. So it only goes to show that why not allow Linux users, aka Steam Deck players, to partake in the fun. Like I said, just my little rant. If you like more Steam Deck news, reviews, walkthroughs, in this case a rant, like and subscribe. Cruise through the playlist. And I'm out.